Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are going to decode a complete day trading system, breaking down its super strict rules for finding, confirming, and jumping on a trade.
Okay, let's dive right in. The whole philosophy here is about being selective. It's just like the quote says, you wouldn't eat spoiled food, right? Well, this system is designed to filter out all the low-quality, garbage trades and make you focus only on what the creator calls pure setups. It's really all about having the patience to wait for the absolute perfect conditions. And that entire process, that hunt for a pure trade, is built on one single, non-negotiable foundation. It's the one rule that governs every single decision you make.
And here it is. This is not just a suggestion, it's not a helpful tip. It is the absolute, unbreakable law of this system. Every single action you take must align with the market's main direction. There are literally zero exceptions to this.
So how do you define the trend without any guesswork, without any ambiguity? Well, the system makes it completely visual. The trend is quite literally the color of your chart's background. It doesn't get much simpler than that.
So let's see exactly how this background color becomes your main guide, your true north on the market compass. It's the very first and most important thing you need to look at on any chart. What this rule does is it creates a simple binary choice, a black or white decision. If the background is green, the trend is up. That means you are a buyer, and that's it. Selling is completely off limits. If it's magenta, the trend is down. You are only looking to sell. Buying is totally forbidden. It's really that clear-cut.
Okay, so you've identified the trend, you know if you're a buyer or a seller. But hold on, that is not enough to actually enter a trade. Not even close. Before you can even think about clicking a button, this system requires 4 very specific conditions to line up absolutely perfectly. This is your pre-trade checklist, and you should think of it just like a pilot's pre-flight inspection. It's that serious. If even a single one of these items doesn't get a green light, the trade is a no-go. You wait. Step 1 is super simple. It's just a confirmation of that golden rule we just covered. If you're looking for a buy, the background must be green. For a sell, it must be magenta. Easy enough? Check. Second, you have to check for momentum alignment. The system uses 2 triggers, and you can basically think of these as fast and slow momentum indicators. For a valid signal, both of these triggers have to be the exact same color as the background, which makes sure that your short-term and your long-term momentum are perfectly in sync. Third thing you check is price location. The system uses an indicator called the BBs, which is most likely for Bollinger Bands, and it measures volatility and price extremes. To get a check mark here, the indicator has to be above its zero line if you're looking to buy, or below the zero line if you're looking to sell. And the final check, is there any real power, any muscle behind this move? A strength indicator, and think of it like a tug-of-war meter. Must be above 50 to confirm that buyers are in control, or below 50 to confirm that sellers are dominant. Only if all 4 of these conditions are met do you have a potential trade on your hands. All right, so now we move from confirming the trend to finding the exact entry point. And this is where the system's core engine really comes into play. It's something called the black candle. Now, this is not just any regular price bar on your chart. A black candle is the visual result of a very specific sequence of price action. It's designed to be a signal that a little counter-trend move has failed and the primary trend is about to resume with some serious force. So how do you know a black candle is forming? Well, the system gives you a heads up using a simple dot pattern. For an upward move in a green trend, you're on the lookout for a sequence of 3 white dots. And for a downward move in a magenta trend, you guessed it, you're looking for 3 black dots. So let's break down the story that these 3 little dots are telling you. The first dot appears. That's sellers trying to push the price down. But then the second dot closes higher than the first. That's the buyers fighting back. But that third dot, that's the knockout punch. The sellers try to push down one more time. They fail to make a new low, and the buyers take firm control. That whole sequence is the signal for a powerful black candle entry. Do you know, the quote on this slide is the perfect analogy. Just think of the trend, that magenta or green background, as a powerful river. You never, ever want to try and fight that current. The black candle is your signal that the perfect boat has just arrived, ready to carry you swiftly right in the direction of that flow. So let's put it all together. The 4-part checklist is confirmed, you've spotted the black candle signal starting to form, you're all set. But where precisely is the ideal entry point to really maximize your odds? The system is absolutely adamant about this. You do not chase the price.
Once a new high is made in an uptrend, you don't buy at the top. You have to patiently wait for the price to pull back for the first time. That very first test of support is identified as the highest probability entry you can get. And of course, the same logic applies just in reverse for a downtrend. Now, we've covered all of these technical rules, the colors, the checklist, the candle patterns, the whole shebang. But the source material is incredibly clear that if you think that's all you need, you are missing the most important part of the entire equation. And this slide right here, this gets to the absolute heart of the system. All those technical rules we just went over, yeah, that's only 3% of the game. A staggering 97% is pure psychology and discipline. It's your ability to actually follow those rules without letting fear or greed take over. This idea requires a total shift in how you think. A professional trader's real job isn't clicking buttons. It's waiting. It is patient observation, for hours if you have to, for that one single pure setup to appear. The actual trading part, that's just a tiny fraction of the work. And this final reframing is so critical. Your objective isn't to be active or to trade. Your objective is to run a business. And the prime directive of that business is to protect your capital first, and then find smart opportunities to grow it. Trading is just the mechanism you use, it is not the goal itself. Ultimately, that brings us to the final question this whole explainer leaves us with. A system like this is a detailed map to a destination. It tells you exactly which roads to take and exactly when to turn. But the map is totally useless if the driver, the trader, lacks the discipline to